Hey, we're live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This week, I'm calling it a strong star. I'm sure others must have found this before because it's a really simple fold. As I said, I've just been playing around with folds myself, not looking at others and just seeing what emerges. And this is one of the things I found. I just love it to bits. It's so beautiful. I had made a while back, it's a traditional fold of the stars, which are lovely from Pentagons. I'm sure many of you will know this. And I found it very intriguing because the back of these have this lovely pentagon at the back. And the strong stars, which are actually made, this case from Pentagon, this case from separate pieces, exactly the same shape. Of course, it will all be mathematics as to how and why it works that way. But I found that quite fascinating that made in a different way, they have such a similar appearance. So yeah, I thought maybe it's now September. We need something to bring a little sparkle. So I thought this would be a good time to share it. So these folds are all dedicated to my colleagues at UCH, but for everybody, for patients, for staff, but for anyone at all. And it's been hello, Marnie, hello, Stephen. It's such a lovely continued community, isn't it? I hope so many of you coming back each week. It's really appreciated. It's lovely to have that feeling of togetherness, and hope it's a nice little positive thing to do every week. It's been quite a challenge to have that many folds. I never expected to be doing it for so long, and to be honest, it's pretty hard to see how things can go back to normal because the pandemic sadly is not over, is it? So I think it's ongoing ways of life that we've had to get used to, and maybe has benefits. Something like this is actually rather lovely, isn't it? That we can hook up across the world, and it's very accessible. So that's a good positive thing, and super easy to be able to do these things from home. My colourful surroundings seem to have come into their own. Hello, Margaret. Welcome. Thank you for coming along. So yeah, so I'm curious, Stephen. You must know there must be others who've folded this. I'm sure there will be, but I'm seeing it not as first pictures of post, but as something that I found so I can share. So yeah, this is the plain one, but I think it's really nice, particularly when you have in different colours. Someone actually recently folded using two-sided paper, and then you'll get other effects. You have little bits of paper. Excellent. Hello, Deborah. Excellent. You've been busy. Good. I'm glad you've been busy catching up with family. Me too. I hope you've had a lovely time. Hello, Money. Oh, you're very welcome. It's part of my work because I would normally be in a hospital, and this is the only way I can reach people for now. We're all being asked to distance wherever we can and to keep safe, which is the right thing to do for looking after very vulnerable people. So this is the only way I could do it, really. So it's super accessible, and it's lovely that you can join. So after these stars, I started then making lots of variants. I'll show you these another time, but with the star basis that I'm doing, I rather liked it. It's just great fun. You get some really lovely effects. So lots to it must be familiar, Stephen. But it was nice because I really did find it from experimenting. I also like because it's a piece of modular, and it's I've called it strong star because it really is 5 separate pieces, but they lock in so nicely to each other. That feels like a real joy because a lot of modular it's quite hard to get a good strong hold. So yeah, others will have found this, but it's a really nice simple thing to show you, but I think very pleasing. It's got a nice kind of turn to it as well, and it's almost like all these little bits feel like they hug each other. So I thought a nice one for this time. Oh, hello, Wendy. Welcome. We're going to make ourselves a strong star. Try and again, it's the messages for me, which is what makes origami special. How it makes you feel, and finding those messages in it that can kind of make you feel supported and cared for. So for me, it's a strong star, and I like to think that we're all doing our best to be strong stars. Recognize your own sparkle and recognize your try and nurture your own strength as best you can. Yes, I like the modular as well. It always takes a bit more time though, doesn't it? So it's a hard one for demonstrations as to how much you show, because it could then take a long time. But this is just 5 pieces, so it's very doable, and I will show you another time some of the variants I've been finding. But I'm sure you can have an experiment. You'll soon find these lovely variants yourselves. It's all just playing with structures, really. So grab yourself some paper. If you do have coloured paper, I think this could be really nice. You'll need 5 pieces. I am going to show you, as usual, from plain paper. Again, I think I might use white and cream just so you can see a little bit how they lock together. Yeah, nice how it locks together. So I would imagine because the pentagon's so effective that people kind of think, what's the point of doing a star from 5 pieces? But it feels kind of quite thick and has quite a nice strength to it. So for me, a star just makes me smile. Okay, so I'm going to grab myself some paper. I'm going to use white and cream just so we've got tiny bits of contrast in there. Direct this down and it is nice and simple. So first of all, need to make 5 pieces or 5 identical size squares. So here I'm just simply folding an A4 in half, giving it a good strong fold. As you know, over this time I've been very much enjoying just folding and using those folds to be able to tear as well. I know it's pretty precise really. And you know what, the imperfections along the edge I think are rather beautiful. They're showing the natural material. So I'm going to make a square and then chop that up into 4. There we go. So I don't know about where you are, but at the moment it feels very autumny. It's gone autumny very much too quickly, but you never know. We might have an Indian summer. I hope so. We're going to pull this back. Obviously, we're extremely lucky here in the UK to have very moderate weather. There's been so much terrible disasters around the world. So it's certainly not fair to complain about the weather. I have to say, I'm missing sunshine. It's a bit grey. Never mind. I think that's why we just have to do things to look after ourselves. Normally go to somewhere a little bit warmer. I'm going to fold in half. I'm basically making some squares. I hope you are too. Or what you have. That's it. Great. I've also been Deborah, you're saying about catching up with your family. I've also been doing the same, and also I did take maybe 2 or 3 weeks break from this, really just to allow myself to completely get offline and recharge. It's done me so much good, it really has, even though I absolutely love it. It's just important, whatever you do, to give yourself a break. I think before we'd go away, and that's what gives us a break, but it's much harder now, but it's still needed. All right, I'm going to do the same with my cream colour, just so I've not got it all white, because you'll find it hard to see what's going on. So, just getting together 5 matching pieces of paper. Okay. This cream paper doesn't rip so easily. Very interesting. Start noticing how pieces of paper vary. It's a bit stronger. Curious what's in it, whether it's completely natural or not. Here we go. So yeah, I found many different things just from playing around, and these are things I'll slowly be sharing together with traditional things. Keeping up the support. Here we go. And wherever, I think possible, bringing those meanings of self-care through it as well. Right, I have got 5 pieces of paper. How are you all getting on? Have you got your pieces done? Right, I will show you how to fold the arms. They're really simple. So we're just going to fold a diagonal, so corner to corner, to make a triangle. There we go. Usually best on a solid surface. Hello, honey. Oh, welcome. How lovely to have you. Oh, yeah. Yes, you are. The game continues. I think lots of us have been taking breaks or trying to. Those who haven't been able to, I hope just in some way you gave yourself a slightly different change of routine, or best you can. but I think a bit of variety is good. Yeah, hope you've been having a good summer too, honey. Yeah, so done that diagonal line. So our next step is to take one side and fold it to the middle line. So we're making a strong star, honey. So you need 5 identical pieces of paper. And this is something I found playing around. I'm sure others will have found this because it's very simple, but that's the beauty of it. So I folded it there to that middle line. All happy? And then turning it over, I am now going to make a parallelogram. So I'm going to take this side and bring it up there. So you're aiming for a parallelogram, and you've pretty much done the same fold on both sides to be able to make it, but the flap is on each side, if that makes sense. Happy? It's really not many steps to this. Obviously, it's going to be great when it gets towards Christmas, and you could also put a little thread through there as well. But I thought we need a bit of sparkle before then. There's so many nice things at that time that I thought we could do with a little bit of cheering there. Right, happy? So we've got this parallelogram. Next, I'm going to go from one corner of your parallelogram to the other, which is probably the trickiest move, actually. So I am going to fold from there to there. She says. As I said, that's the kind of trickiest move. So I'm folding that corner to the opposite one. I don't think it matters which. Anyway, I'm still learning as I go along, but trying to be exact because obviously it's that angle that's tricky. Yes, this is the trickiest part, is lining it up, trying to get it through that angle. There we go. So it should look like this. How's yours looking? It's almost got a feeling of a curve to it. It's such an interesting shape. Yeah. Happy? We're then going to take this side and fold it to that line. So it's kind of to the halfway point. There we go. I'm remembering how to fold into the camera. It is a skill. There we go. And then turn to the back. We're going to do this 5 times, so you'll be fine by the end of it. This side to that middle line. Through the point. Maybe I'm being a bit ambitious doing this with the camera. Maybe not. I like to give myself a challenge. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like this. And these are arms of your star. Right. So what we'll do is when we plug together, one fits in there and this hugs around it. I just love it. It's so nice. Right, next one. So take a square, fold the diagonal, open it up, take one side and bring it to the diagonal. Like so. Usually if I'm doing modular, I tend to do batches, but anyway, for some reason I'm doing it today, each one individually. Why not savor it? We're not in a rush. And then turn it to the back, smooth side, and we want to make a parallelogram. So that side to here, to the middle line. Maybe it's easier if I was doing it to look at. There we go. Wow. Yeah, effectively I'm doing it with that. The camera is my eyes at the moment. And next we are, for some reason I keep on turning it this way for the folding anyway. Probably doesn't matter actually. We're going to go from one corner to the other, which is the trickiest thing actually, is lining up there to there. Oops. Be patient with yourself on this one. This is what's giving it the right angle. I don't even know what angle this is, but it's a delicious angle. And it's what will give your stars arms. There we go. Isn't it nice? It's got a lovely turn to it. Oh, yes. So, yes, Eric had last week, he popped in briefly saying, I'm with my family. And he did say he was with his family again. So, making lovely memories. Isn't that brilliant to hear? Because, again, he's been, I think, by himself for quite a while. So, really lovely to hear. I think it seems to be a person who gets on best with, like, managing his by himself, or, yeah, does very well. That side, we're going to bring to the middle. Here we go, lining it up, going nicely through the point there as best you can. Yeah, I like these little tucks and things. Turn to the back, same thing, that side to the middle line. There we go. And actually, just with these two, we'll be able to see how they plug together. Let's do that because it's quite fun to start getting a feeling for it. See how inaccurate my folding is into a camera, but it's all good. Right. So you want to get them the same way round. This is just plugging in two. So you've got this little flap. So you open one flap and you can just tuck in the arm of the next and then fold the flap over like a little hug. So this flap goes over there, she says. Maybe I do need to see what I'm doing. So that little bit will then be able to tuck over there. And you get this nice effect that you can see into the layer underneath, and you get this nice little pattern there. Right, should we make the next? That's the basis of it. So another diagonal, open it up, one side to the middle line, after 5, you may even start to remember it. Strong star, I wonder what other people have called it. Turn it to the back, parallelogram this side to this side. But it was just playing around with take a square, take a diagonal, and then what happens from there. There we go. And then I don't know why I turn it that way around. It might not be needed, but from that corner to the other one, sort of becomes your own tradition, really. It might matter, it might not matter, I'm afraid. Unless I experimented enough, I wouldn't know whether it matters. Probably doesn't matter. But keep consistent, whatever it is that you're doing. Yep. There we go. So concentration again. I just love this. Feels like a slightly curving, interesting shape there. I am a scientist. I'm very much not a mathematician, but I can feel the beauty. We're going to take one side and bring it to that line. Although maybe we appreciate maths, I think maybe visually very much. Our brain likes order. And actually, a lot of science is about spotting patterns. I think I've been, over this time, again to that middle line, I have been very much found myself gazing at paths. This is like time by yourself, spotting fossils, because they are very much patterns. Life is very patterned compared to random, isn't it? So I think maybe my origami has given me such a fossil seeking superpowers as a result of maybe thinking patterns a lot more or responding to them. That's it. That's my next one. So that would be the back of it. So you need to have, the front is always this flap. So it means one arm can fit into the last one. And it's that one arm onto the next which makes it really strong. So this is not one that will fall apart, which is such a joy. And it's a strong star. There we go. Nice, let's get it there. Right, I'm going to do another cream one. Diagonal. How are you getting on, everyone? Are you enjoying this fold? I hope so. There we go. One side up to the middle. Again, I'm trying to keep it just consistent, just because it's more likely to go smoothly, but it may not matter. It's also, I think, more relaxing when it's like a little dance. And then turn to the back. Let's make a parallelogram, that one to this line. Oh, good. I'm glad, honey. And also, yeah, feel free to get experimenting. I'll be showing another time, but you're always welcome. I really found this lovely to make variants from. Look at this lovely pattern. So these are from experimenting with the same form, just extra tucks, that's all. I'll show you this another time, but yeah, have a lot of fun with the Strong Star. I don't know why I turned that way around. You know, one side parallelogram to the other, but it's that shape I just find so lovely and intriguing. And whilst you can make a gorgeous star from a pentagon, this feels kind of stronger, more like all these little hugs add up. It's complete. Whoa, well done, Margaret. Have you done something like this before? I'm sure you have. Yeah. Well, you're learning as you're going along with the folding. So the first one's always going to be, and then you'll really enjoy getting it right. Yeah. My folding. But I rather like how you can also look through the layers at the other arm. So you then end up with this nice effect. This side to there. Very much going along slowly. It's not so much to get it done, but just to enjoy it, really. Right, I need to do that. Right. Next one. So again, each time the flap, one arm will tuck into the last. It's always the very final one that will be the interesting one, but we'll get there together. Maybe Margaret, you're done. This may be quite wobbly because I'm trying to fold into a camera. It's not. Looks like there's an interesting hole developing. This one. Oh dear. Oh, maybe I'm discovering a new variant. Wow, this really. I don't normally get a hole in the middle, but I quite like it. Maybe I don't. Okay. I think folding into the camera maybe was a little bit of a bold move. Right, I'm just going to do my best. Wow, this is going to be a unique one. Okay. Final one, diagonal. Yes, let's maybe not fold into camera. Diagonal. Opening it up. Oh, yes, I know what you mean, Marnie. That's why I'm suggesting keep it just consistent, whatever it is that you do. So doing on one corner and I'm keeping it the same, turning it over, taking this side, bringing it there. But in essence, it's very simple. So if you just get yourself thinking of it in one particular way that you do it, it will all be good. For some reason I'm rotating it around and then I'll do one corner to the other. Again, I'm just doing it to keep consistent with myself, really. Well, and it's maybe one to work on. You should make some stars for yourself, and then maybe you can make stars for others. It's going to make them smile. And even with white paper, it looks rather lovely. So it looks like effort has gone into it. Right. I'm a little bit unsure whether mine will seal up because, as I said, there's a hole that's developed in it which doesn't normally. Turn to the back, and that one to the line. And it may be because they're all a bit out. So I've been folding into a camera rather than looking at what I'm doing. Okay, I'll give it a go though. Well, it's good to see there's not perfection. Perfection is something that we try to seek, but it's impossible. But that also makes it rather charming. So pop that in. That flap goes over, and then The very final move is always a tricky and an interesting one with modular. You sort of have to grab one and twist it round so that the front goes to the back and the back goes to the front. So that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to take this. Can you see I swapped it over? And then it'll be the same thing that I lift up the flap. And I need to tuck that in. And then tuck that over and hopefully a fairly complete strong star. There we go. Not bad. It's got a little bit of a hole. Unique. How's it gone for you? But it's got a nice feel to it, hasn't it? I think all of those layers make it rather lovely. Oh, I'm so glad you love it, honey. Well, passed on with love and care. These are folds I've been fighting to be able to just pass on in support of that self-care and of being caring to each other and being willing to share, and actually you sharing as well, everybody sharing comments and folding. That makes a happy place, doesn't it? It is as simple as that. Yeah. So I'm sure you can experiment with many materials. As you can see, I think it is rather lovely when you've got different colours, and these little tucks, I think, just make it almost look like material. These little white bits, how you can look into the gaps there. So it's a nice little sculptural thing. And you may get experimenting and finding that you can do things like this. I'll be sharing some of these another time as well, but do feel free to experiment yourself. It's a really nice one. So I hope this has given you a little bit of sparkle. It's a bit of a grey day. It's the start of September, so I thought we might need it. Struggling with fireplace, but yeah, I guess whether everything's tucked in, is that front to the back and the back to the front, and maybe it's how sharp. I reckon it's the folding that diagonal across the parallelogram is quite tricky, and I would guess if that's not spot on, then things could start to drift. So it's deceptively simple, but also it's got a bit of complexity. I think every piece of origami is like that, isn't it, actually? All things have its own little things to understand, and that's what will keep your mind finely attuned to it. Oh, exactly, making our own sparkle and sunshine. Exactly. So I hope keep being strong stars. We're going to maybe need this times to come, and keep being like that. Oh, just about look for, maybe we could make some interesting glasses, Elton John style glasses. Yeah, it's even just having a star up has made me feel a little bit more twinkly. So I hope it makes you feel twinkly too. Next week, I think we have a traditional fold, something quite noisy. What it's inspired by. Something I love. So many more things to come along, and we'll look forward to that. So next week, same time and same place, 2 o'clock, and we'll do another fold. And yeah, maybe you can make some stars to give to others as well. It's a good one to post too. You can easily post this. Make a nice card. So take care, have a good week, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.